Hi folks, welcome back to the Easy Jeezy Garage. I want to start a new series. I'm going to do a little different format this time. I'm going to try to make them a little bit shorter instead of wearing you out. I'm real excited about this latest find, getting this 69 Baja. I've wanted one for years, and before I get too far into checking things out, I thought, what am I doing? I should be showing this stuff. I should be posting videos on how I'm doing this and what I'm looking for. And I think I'm going to call this series Volkswagen Baja Revived or Revival, something like that. But I have a lot of parts, but there's probably people looking at this that don't have a lot of parts, and they haven't had a lot of cars or Volkswagens. But they've always saw them going down the road or saw them on desert racing and different things. I thought, man, that looks like fun. I'd like to have one of those. So that's generally the drift of it. I wanna kind of show a teaching type thing here, where what to look for if you're gonna go out and buy a car. This first one, I thought we just start taking a look around here. So I'm gonna take you off the stand and let's look at why I picked this particular Baja. I've been looking for years, and I decided on this. This is the one I spent the money on. Okay, first of all, it looked pretty straight. I like the look. I says to myself, look, it's got proper wheels. It doesn't have wheel adapters and Chevy wheels and Ford wheels. People put all kinds of wheels that they think are available. These look like your basic steel heavy duty wheels, and keep in mind that my thought process was I didn't want something so nice that I'd be afraid to drive it off-road. So anyhow, this one looked pretty straight, and I looked at some little detail things. You see the little eyelids on the headlights. You see the this is hand painted pinstriping. Of course, it's gone, but that takes money. You've either got to have money or talent, and I have neither, but I can recognize it when I see it. And I thought, well, look, I don't know who I'm buying it from. This thing's old enough. It could have had numerous owners, but somebody took the time and spent the extra money to pinstripe it. They painted it separately because the fender welt is just the black vinyl or plastic, whatever they use for that. But they took the time to put it in there, and it means that they painted the body and the fender separately and then assembled this. So a little more care and detail. Tinted windows, that cost money. Was the car a car that was wrecked? Was it something the matter with it that they couldn't afford or didn't want to restore it as an original bug? Why did they make it into a Baja? That's something you always got to ask. There's some serious damage someplace, and they figure, well, we're just going to beat around in the dirt. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's fine, but got to take all that into consideration. So here was another major selling point for me, and I should let me just lift the hood. I hope the light's good enough. When I lifted the hood here, what I saw, excuse me while I lift this spare tire, it had a spare tire that matches the rest of the wheels. I like that. But look at this compartment. It even came with an official prop stick. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but most Volkswagens that you look at, people have put stereos in and they've torn them apart, and the electrical wire cover, that is a cover in the back, is missing. It stops some of the airflow and keeps you from laying stuff on it. But I mean, it doesn't look like 15 people have had their hands in there that didn't know what they were doing. It looks pretty much how it does in a stock factory Volkswagen. Everything's neat. It's got some of the original paperwork. It's got dust in it, and that's fine. You got to look past the dust. But here's a good chance to look at some of the rust. And I don't see... that looks like a pretty crummy cut. It looks like somebody used snips or something on that first body cut. But there was only... it looks like it was like one cut. I think the person that built this Baja had done it before. That's my guess. So I might be wrong, but there's just a lot of details. They were a car guy. You know, some people got the knack and experience, and then there's always people that are just starting out, and you're gonna make mistakes. And if you're starting from scratch, you're gonna make mistakes. And believe me, yeah, you could build one of these yourself, but to buy all these parts and assemble them all together takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of experience, and if it's your first time, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to spend a lot more money than you planned on. So let's take a look underneath here. You look along this where the running board goes. This area right in here is the heater channel. It's where the running boards bolt to, and a lot of them are rusted out. Valerie's are all rusted out, and this one is not. Seems pretty solid. The pan on the bottom, if they've been jeeping and rock crawling with it, and this thing has seen a lot of salty, snowy winter weather before it was a Baja. It could have had a lot of damage before somebody turned it into the Baja, and I don't see that. This looks like it was a pretty straight car. You can look at, see if both sides of the pan, you can buy everything on this thing except the tunnel where the serial number is and the torsion bar, and you know, people change that stuff around too. But do they match? Because a lot of that stuff will be pieced together. You know, they'll take a couple of cars to make one good one. So that cutout for speakers in the door, you know, that's going to be pretty common. I was really shocked. This is the first one I've ever seen with a rear seat. And these interiors are getting really harder and harder to find. I'm looking at a stock shifter down here. You know, not some hot rod thing. And it might not be the first choice. I don't know what kind of seats these are. Somebody put a tachometer down there, but they didn't chop it up. Somebody replaced the radio, had to do some cutting on that. But, you know, it's pretty stockish. So many people change hands and they start cutting holes different places, putting speakers and different things in. If you don't mind that, then, you know, you don't mind it. But I was looking for something, stock pedal assembly. And it had the pop-out rear windows. It had the sunroof. That may be a good thing or a bad thing, but I figured come wintertime, if worse comes to worse, and it does roll back and forth, and it's just working smooth by the crank. Another thing that on Bajas, a lot of time they cut clear back to the firewall, clear in the back there. This one wasn't, and it looks like it's supporting this wire, and that's the stock wire, stock tail light. I like seeing a lot of that stock. This is tar board in the back here, and that was left on. I don't think this thing was in that bad a shape when they started hacking on it. But I'm going to start another video on what to look at on the engine. Hang in there, guys and gals, and I'll be back in a minute. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing, and stay tuned. We're going to do a whole series on this car as we revive it. Easy Jeezy out.